Born in Santa Barbara, California, and then moving out to Chicago to study music, Lisa Go now lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and she dropped by the Talkopolis studios for a short interview and to sing us some tunes. I'm Kane Harrison, and this is Emerging Artists.
Talkopolis, the social media TV network for your city.
Lisa, thank you so much for joining us and dropping by the Talkopolis studios in Nashville. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
I'm glad. I'm super glad. Let's talk about the origins of you first and foremost before we get to your music, because I think reading a bit of your background, a lot of your influences come from where you've been in life.
Yes.
Born in LA, correct, and then lived in Santa Barbara?
Mm-hmm. True story.
And so spent most of your childhood there.
Yes.
And then tripped off to college in Chicago. And then in a roundabout way ended up in Nashville.
Yes, a very strange way.
But let's start at the beginning, because you were heavily influenced by your dad, I believe.
Yes.
And started singing when you were 4.
Yes.
Tell me a bit about that.
Pretty much like just came out singing. My dad was a studio musician for Capitol. He did drums and loved jazz music. So, I mean, I literally grew up next to his drums, and I could take naps there because I loved the loud music. And I mean, there's always music around, and I didn't really realize, you know, that it could be a career. It was just something fun, and I went to a private school, and so we did the plays, and I kept getting leads, and just was like, oh, okay, let's go, whatever. And yeah, I think my first concert was Sade, which is, you know, an amazing jazz singer, and I got my perm done because it was the 80s, and I loved it. It was just the most amazing experience, and just seeing her and listening. And jazz is not something, I mean, you can be taught, but you feel it. And I think, you know, with my dad's background, and he's actually originally from Peoria, Illinois, and then lived in Chicago, and then moved to LA. So just jazz has always been there. And my father also had a morning song. Do you know about this morning song?
I know a little bit about the morning song, actually.
Morning song goes
and I
like
think it's brilliant. So go ahead. I would love to hear it.
Good morning, Mr. Sunshine. Why did you wake so soon? You chased away the little stars and chased away the moon. Hey! So I woke up with that.
I think it's awesome. And that's exactly right. I read that you woke up with that every single morning.
Yeah.
So being so young and being surrounded by music, you know, I was completely opposite. I didn't have anyone who had a musical bone in my family at all, so I didn't know it could be a career. I didn't know anything about it. But you were submerged in it. At some stage, I read around 12 or 13, you decided to pick up a pen and start writing your own stuff.
Yes.
How did you, I mean, I know you were only 12 or 13, but still, to start getting the emotions and how you saw the world out onto paper, can you remember getting to that point and why you started it?
Yeah, I actually, my mom, even younger than that, would record me in the bathtub, just singing songs. And I found out that she was doing that. So I don't sing in showers anymore because I feel like people are listening to me. And I'm like paranoid. These are my thoughts. So she used to do that, and then she was the one who kind of encouraged me to journal and write things down. And again, they were just like poems and thoughts. And then I anonymously put a poem into our high school paper, and it got published, and people were responding to it. And that was definitely an eye-opener of, whoa, like people are responding to things that I'm writing and feeling an emotion, whether it's the same emotion as mine or theirs. And then I also, crazy story, you don't know
We love
this.
a crazy story. We love a crazy story.
So when I was about 14 or 15, I guess, I was rollerblading in my neighborhood, and I'm not very good at stopping, and I threw myself in a bush, and this girl was laughing at me and was like, ah, Rebecca. And I was like, I'm not Rebecca. And she was like, oh my God, you're in this bush. And I was like, ah. And we went inside, and she was like, you look familiar. And we had gone to church together, and she was a singer as well. And her name was Katy Hudson at the time, who is now Katy Perry. So we actually grew up, and she actually really made it very known to me, like, hey, you've got something here. And here, she gave me my first guitar. She taught me my first 3 chords. And, you know, we were poor kids living in Santa Barbara, but like, you know, we really just took that on, and she took me to my first writers rounds, and again, it was still like, people are still responding. People are actually following us when we go to these things, and her career.
Yeah, and a lot of people wouldn't recognize that Katy Perry Hudson is a brilliant songwriter, guitarist, incredible vocalist, as we all know, but very much come from a singer-songwriter background, and fantastic, you know, soundboard for you to be able to combine with and do it.
I mean, at 16, as soon as I got my license, she called. She's like, "Oh my gosh, we have to go to Knott's Berry Farm. There's this guy there. Oh my God, I'm totally in love with him." And so all of a sudden, I became her tour manager, and it was like a really great example of what it could be and how it can be something. And now I'm here. I like skipped so much, but no, she lived in Nashville also, and I was in Chicago at the time, and she actually helped me get into the college I went to, which was a private college, and did the concert management program there. Really just thought that I was going to be supporting Katy most of my life, and it was even there. I had we had this like college CD that everyone submits their songs, and my song was the first song on the album. So it was just like this thing that was following me, that every time I tried to be like, I'm going to be in radio now, and just kidding, I'm going to get into marketing. And no, it was just like, nope, this is happening whether you like it or not. And that went on our college radio, and that was really cool. And then when I came back to LA, I was working for Katy again, but then I was playing Hotel Cafe.
Well, I do want to talk about college in Chicago, and we will do that straight after this.
I found your replacement. He came in late on Thursday night, ordered me a cup of coffee. I refused it 'cause I thought you'd be waiting for me after work, you jerk. What couldn't you been a man like he was, and offered me some peace of mind instead? I can't rewind, I can't deny. He's everything you're not, he's everything I want, he's everything you never gave to me when you said you would. I'm getting rid of you, and now all I can do, all I can do is replace you. For me, they'd scribbled in some black line notes and numbers. It's me to Grammy's basement. So sweetie didn't start a fight like you would. He knew that I was special. He ordered me a drink. I think he thinks I like him, and I'm not yours. Yeah, I want him more. Yeah, I want him more. He's everything you're not, he's everything I want, he's everything you never gave to me when you said you would. I'm getting rid of you, and now all I can do, all I can do is replace you. I've been trying to make you here. I've been waiting for you to change, and then I found him to replace you. I'll replace you. He's everything you're not, he's everything I want, he's everything you never gave to me when you said you would. I'm getting rid of you, and now all I can do, all I can do is replace you. Replace you. Replace you.
Talkopolis, the social media TV network for your city.